Peace be with you. Anyways, welcome back to the Bummy podcast. Obviously, I had to put my hood on because when I'm editing, I'm not gonna know which one I'm doing until I play it. It's too much. Anyways, welcome back. Today we're gonna talk about She's a Lady. Nobody is. In this show, nobody is a lady. Because, funny, first and second season, I was like, oh my goodness. By the way, I'm talking about Emily in Paris, season 3, because I already did season 1 and 2 a while ago. Season 3 just came out December, I believe. We're in January. Anyways. Yeah, so we're going to talk about Emily in Paris, and it's crazy because in season 1 and 2 I was like, Mindy and Cami are the only ones that are not hosts. Literally everybody on that show is a hoe. Come to find out, they really said you thought. So anyways, let's get into it. So basically, ain't nobody a lady. Basically what happens is on season 2, they left off with Emily being left by Alfie, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, like he was like, yeah, I'm out. Like, this is too much for me. I'm nobody's second choice, blah, 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 right? So he leaves, and then also she gets offered a job with that's why I have the list. Sylvie's new company. That's why I always have the casts, because names, I don't remember them. Who are they? Anyway, so that's where we leave off on season 2, is when Alfie leaves her and Sylvie offers her a job. So she basically gets to stay in Paris, but she doesn't know if she should continue to help Madeline. So she, in season 3, it starts off with her having this nightmare of basically both of them finding out that she's still working for both of them. Like, they don't know that she's still working for the other one. Okay, so Sylvie and Madeline don't like each other, and she's literally working for both of them, and neither of them know about it. So she has a nightmare when they're like at the top of the Eiffel Tower, and then they confront her, and then she falls, and that's how she wakes up from the dream, from the nightmare, whatever. So after that, I think it goes to her going to work for both of them for a while, and then her ex from Chicago, not Alfie, her ex from Chicago calls, and he's basically telling her like, oh, I know you're like the best at this marketing whatever thing, I'm gonna send you like the details to do McDonald's in Paris, like to market that for her company, right? So she's like, all right, that's cool. I think at first she wasn't even answering his calls because she's like, why the hell is he calling me? But anyways, that was the thing he was trying to tell her. She was like, oh, thank you, that's great. And she's bringing this idea to Sylvie and not Madeline. So, you know, Madeline is trying to get things situated and together or whatever, but it's not working out. And then it's literally them, like it's literally Madeline and Emily, the only ones working in that office now. So it's a lot, it's a whole lot. And then what happens? It's been a while since I watched it. Okay, give me a moment. What happens? So I believe this lady's introduced as, I don't know if you've watched it. If you didn't watch it and you're just watching this video, you're weird. But Cami is like a art gallery whatever thing, like she just hosts people at the art gallery. And so this one lady comes, and her thing is like a confessional, like the Catholics do. So they have, you know, this thing in the middle, and then like you sit here, they sit here, and then you're supposed to confess. So she has that, and it's just to like tell the truth or whatever. And like you can kind of tell that the lady's into Cammy. And then the whole art gallery whatever thing happens, and then Cammy and Cammy, Gabrielle, and Emily. I think Alfie came later to support Mindy, because Mindy is singing in front of like people. I don't know if it was outside. It was outside. Yeah, it's outside. I don't know if it was like where the grass areas or what. But anyways, they're just singing outside, her and like the band. And so she didn't want them to know, but I think it was on season 2 we found out that the club they performed at wanted only her and not the band. And so I don't know how they found out. I think he said they kept, because she wasn't answering their calls, they called them, because they, you know, they're a band, they have their number. And so I think they called her boyfriend and the other bandmate. And so that's how they found out. So while they're like, when they were done singing, they were like, oh, and you can see Mindy at like, and then they said like the club's name. I don't remember the club's name, but anyways, they said the club's name. And then she was shocked, because she's like, how the hell do they know this? And then, like I said, what I said, they told her what I just said. And so she's like, are you sure you want me to take it? They're like, this is the, like, you know, this is not something that just everybody can get a chance of. So she's like, okay. She agrees to go to the club and sing by herself. And then excuse me, I think somewhere in between that Emily's been trying to talk to Alfie, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, I completely missed the whole thing. He didn't tell her he was still in Paris, because the reason she found out was what was that guy's name? He like works with Anthony, something like that. Anthony. He works for Anthony, and she didn't know that. Like he literally just started working for Anthony. Because he gave him like an offer, and then she saw him there, and she thought like he had went back to England, because that's literally what he said in season 2. And so when she saw him there, she was shocked. And then I think they were like trying to text or whatever, but he was telling her like he can't, he doesn't think he can like trust her, because he's been, you know, doing everything for the relationship, and she's not really doing that, and she's out here complaining about her job and whatever. So that's why I think I think it was like also about the job, and the fact that they had a party for him, a going away party to England, and she showed up like when they were leaving. So he was like, you only care about yourself, blah blah blah, and then he left. So she assumed he went to England, but apparently you find out that he's working for Anthony. And then we skip over to when Mindy's performing blah blah blah, they finish the song. Emily goes up and she basically like sings what's it all about, Alfie? I didn't even know that was a song, I'm not gonna lie. But she was singing a song that basically has his name in it. And so he goes up. I don't know if he sings with her or whatever, but like they basically reconcile, and like they're back together. And then she has the after a long time, because Sylvie did not want no McDonald's. She was like, McDonald's, I'm not doing none of that. But actually before that, her and Gabrielle go out to eat at McDonald's. I don't know what happened. Oh, I think she said like she doesn't know about McDonald's, and she was telling him that Sylvie didn't want to do McDonald's at Paris, and so he was like, oh, let me show you what it looks like, and it's so like fancy shit fancy, like it don't look like no America McDonald's. So she's like, you know, we can brand it like this, blah blah blah. And then she was saying like, why would a chef like you be eating at McDonald's? And he said, it's like my indulgence. I don't even know what he said, to be completely honest. It's something like that. But anyways, they were eating together, they were eating dinner together, they were eating lunch. What am I talking about? They were eating lunch together at McDonald's because he wanted to show her what McDonald's looked like in Paris. Anywho, while that is happening, Sylvie's trying to like figure out who she can find, and then they had Savoie, the company, had a meeting with this one client, and so obviously Madeline knows about it. So Madeline and Emily are going there. Sylvie and Luke and I'm doing crack. Luke and who? I'm not doing crack, I'm lying. Luke and who? My god, where did they put him? He's not on the cast list? That's racist. Is it because he's black? Oh, my bad. It's because he's zoomed out. His whole outfit is showing. Luke and Julian and Sylvie show up while Emily and Madeline are showing up, and the lady's like, I got the box you sent, which I think Sylvie is the one that sent it, and then they're basically arguing, and the lady's like, I don't got time for this. Y'all figure it out. So Madeline's whole thing is like, it's Savoie's company. It's not like, even if you want to take them as the client, they are still her clients, because the people are having a meeting with Savoie, not Sylvie's new company. So she's like, why are you trying to take, she technically said she'll sue her because they have a contract with Savoie, not Sylvie. Anywho, so they have all that happen there, and then and then after that, I think is when her nightmare basically happens, because Sylvie finally agrees to talk to the McDonald's guy. And so it's funny because she's like, Emily's wearing the exact same thing that was in her nightmare. How you gonna manifest things? That's wild. Anyways, so she was so they're having dinner at the top of the Eiffel Tower. Sylvie, Luke, Julian, the McDonald's guy, and Emily, they're having dinner at the top of the Eiffel Tower. And Luke is really a big mouth person, because it's always him that be telling people stuff, because he's also the one that told on season 2, I believe, he's the one that told Alfie that Gabrielle and Emily had a thing. Like, shut your mouth, bro, stop talking. Anyways, he basically had to go back because he forgot his laptop at the Savoie office. So when he went back, he ran into Madeline, and he was basically telling her, oh, like, Emily has this thing for us, blah blah blah. Like, she doesn't even know that Emily is working with Sylvie. So she decides to get dressed up, and she also comes to the top of the Eiffel Tower. And while they're having the dinner, she comes, and Emily is shooketh, obviously, because she's not expecting Madeline to be there. And then, you know, Madeline says a whole lot. Come to find out, she's about to give birth because her water broke, whatever. So the ambulance has to come and take her. And then Sylvie's like, so you've been working for both of us, and like, you're not choosing, blah blah blah. She said, you don't have to choose, you're fired. I was like, ooh, you're fired, like McMahon type of. She said, you're fired. Well, technically, who says you're, Donald Trump also says you're fired. Anyway, regardless, she basically told her, you're fired, you can leave now. So now Emily's like, oh my god, I just lost my job, blah blah blah. And then I think at that time is when she goes to because she was gonna miss Alfie's thing, and she goes there because she was trying to finish this dinner and then go to his party, his going away party. And then I think that's when he was like, you don't even care about me, bro. Like, you literally went to a dinner for your job after you literally said you were gonna make this party. So like, what's the point of having the party if you're not even there? So that's when Anthony and him were talking about working together. So the fact that I'm going all over the place, but I'm remembering things, at least brain's still here. Good job. So after that is when they reconcile, whatever. And then now, because she doesn't have no after that, I think Madeline forgives her, so she's still allowing her to work with her, and so she's just making her do everything. They have this new I forgot what it was, like for a pet company, something. And so her idea was, oh, we can use dog filters, like, because people look like their dogs, we can use filters so that they can put like the dog's face on them. Like the filter would be the dog's face on the owner, and then the owner can like talk like as if he's the dog. So she was showing her that, and then a bird went into the office because the owner of the building and Sylvie were basically talking, because she was like, her apartment lady, like, she was basically saying like, I'm gonna get you kicked out if you're trying to run a business in your building. And so Sylvie had this idea where she's gonna talk to the building manager of well, he's not the building manager of Savoie, he's the building manager where Savoie is located. And they basically have dinner. Him, I think Luke, yeah, I think it's Luke, the building manager, and Sylvie have dinner, and she's like, you know, wearing a revealing dress and whatever, because she's basically trying to like get back in the building, and she's using her, you know, because that's Sylvie, we know this, we know Sylvie's a hoe. So she's basically doing that to get them out of the building. And so she this is too much. The more I remember, I'm like, this is too much. So Luke is like, damn, she really like dressed out for this. And so basically the building manager is like head over heels over her, and he's like, yeah, I'll like smoke them out, basically is what he said. So he turned the heater on, he's not fixing the elevator, and now there's a bird in there. So Emily has to go downstairs to go talk to him. Like, there's a literal bird in there's a, I think it was a pigeon. She's like, there's a literal pigeon in here. So she went downstairs, and she has to like walk because the elevator is not working, because he doesn't want to fix it. So she has to walk down, and she left the animal filter on the screen. So Madeline had to have a meeting with the Chicago people, like the higher ups of the Chicago people. And so she still has the animal filter, and she doesn't know how to take it off. They're like, okay, we're just gonna call you back, because she kept calling for Emily. She doesn't know how to use Zoom. Bruh, you're the manager in Chicago, you don't know how to use Zoom at all. Jesus. So she's trying to like mute it, but she thought she muted it, and she was yelling for Emily, and the people are like, you're not muted, like we can hear you. And so at this time, Emily's, you know, running down trying to get the building manager, and then the Chicago people tell Madeline like, we'll just call you back another time. It doesn't look like a good time, because the pigeon landed on her head. I was like, oh Lord, this looks like a mess. You don't look like you got anything under control. And so, you know, she's freaking out, she's like, oh my gosh, this is a lot of pressure. And so the building manager and Emily finally come up, and then she's like, where were you? She was like, you told me to get the building manager. And then Madeline is like, there is a bird in here. and then he comes, and because she was trying to make the pigeon go away, she had thrown like some of the croissants on the floor. And he's like, it's because you're dirty. I was like, oh, that is so messed up. You know damn well that bird didn't come in here because they're dirty. And so after he leaves, Emily's like, how in the hell did the bird fly in here? None of the windows are opening. I think he had locked the windows or something. And on top of that, the heater is on. So like, they're hot, they're sweating, now there's bird, like a pigeon flying everywhere. They were not okay with it. So after that, I think is was it after that? Yeah, I think it was after that. They were having a party where, oh no, I think Luke, Emily, and Madeline are talking, because Luke and Emily are like, they need to resolve this because the only person that could run Savoie is Sylvie. Like, she knows the whole thing. Like, there was no reason for all this to happen. So they have like a little lunch or something, and Luke is basically trying to tell Madeline, like, you gotta basically, like, people love it when you in Paris, people love it when you like boost their ego and stuff like that. So you need to do that to Sylvie, right? And you need to dress well. We're going to this thing, I forgot what the thing was like, but there's this company that's having this dinner, and what was that guy's name, the old guy's name? Pierre Cadieux. I really don't know how to say these people's names. He's been working with Savoie, or technically Sylvie, and he was the only one they had that basically came with Sylvie, because all the other ones didn't want to break their contract, blah blah blah, right? So he was gonna be at this thing, and he told them to come. And so there was this guy named Nicholas, and his company is something at the tip of my tongue. I don't know what it is. No, it's never at the tip of my tongue. I really don't know what it is. I don't know. He has this company, and this company doesn't work with outside marketing. And so they were having a party for Pierre Cadieux. I don't know. They were having a party for the one client that Sylvie still has. So that's why Sylvie was gonna be there. So Sylvie's dressed in this like black dress, swan looking dress, right? And then why doesn't Madeline come dressed the same? And then they like face each other. And Madeline, you know, she's trying to like boost Sylvie's ego. So she's like, oh, you wore it better, blah, blah, blah. And then Pierre Cadieux, I don't know how to say his name. PC, I'm gonna call him PC, like the computer. So PC comes with Sylvie, and he's like, what are you wearing? And they're like, oh, we rented. Emily and Madeline are like, oh, we rented this. And he's like, ugh. Because, you know, they don't believe in like other people wearing clothes and then you're wearing it and returning it. Like, I mean, I get that. That's pretty disgusting. I don't know where it's been, but he was disgusted by it. Needless to say. But they can't afford it. Like, damn, you don't gotta be that rude. Anyway, so PC goes up to like the balcony where Nicholas is about to announce whatever. So before he does that, Madeline and Sylvie are having a conversation, and Madeline is basically saying like, we want you back. Like, you're the only one that can run Savoie. We want you back. And then Sylvie's like, you had your chance. You know what I mean? She was like, you had your chance. You had your chance to have me work there, and I already have my new company, so I'm not about to like leave my new company for a company like this that be treating people like this. She didn't say none of that, but I would have said that. Anyway, so she's basically like, I'm not coming back. And she walks away, and she's standing with Luke and Julian. And so now PC and Nicholas are having a what is it called? Jesus. PC and Nicholas are about to announce to everybody the big news. And so basically what the big news is that Nicholas's company is basically going to buy, or I think it's either buy or join PC's designer stuff, right? So Sylvie's very devastated because she's like, that was literally the only client she has. They don't do outside marketing, which means now she's losing the only client she has. So she was not happy. And anywho, what was I saying? So Sylvie's very devastated that she's losing her only client. And then Luke and Julian are basically like, you should have took her offer. Now we literally have nothing. Like, they're like, how are we supposed to pay our bills, basically? They're like, bruh, we don't got nothing now. We don't got nothing. You can't pay for all of this. And so they get angry and they leave. And then Emily talks to Nicholas. I don't know if it was before or after the announcement. Saying like, you know, you should really think about like a marketing team or something like that. I think she was saying, she always has ideas, so she's talking about business, whatever. And they usually, in Paris, they don't talk about business at a party. They don't talk about work at parties. That's what they keep saying. And then Alfie had moved into a new place, I think, and they were having housewarming, and so Emily invited Nicholas to come to the house party. Yeah, Emily invited Nicholas to come to the house party. And also during this time, I just saw her name. Sophia is the lady that was doing the Catholic confessional thing at the art gallery. So her and Camille are getting very close, and like, she was basically telling her to come over, blah, blah, blah. I was like, Camille, you are talking shit about Gabriel, and I was with you. You are talking shit about Gabriel cheating on you with Emily. You are talking shit all over. And now you are cheating on him with a whole female, with a whole Sophia. I cannot. The double standards is wild to me. Anywho, so they're having a thing, okay? So I believe Emily invites them. Emily invites, I think, Camille, and I think Camille invited Sophia. And so Gabriel, I think, had to work because, you know, he owns a whole ass restaurant. So he had to work, so I don't think he was able to be there. But Cammy and Sophia are there together. And then Mindy shows up with her Bootang. What's his name? What's your name? It only shows Mindy. That's what. Benoit. What kind of name is that? I don't know. That's why I didn't remember it. So Benoit, her boyfriend, her bandmate, was there with her. And then apparently she knows Nicholas, whatever you want to call his name. She knows him from boarding school. Like, they know each other. And so, you know, Benoit is getting jealous because he's like, you are very cozied up with this dude. And he's just like, something is not right, because he can see that Nicholas has a crush on Mindy, but Mindy keeps telling Benoit, like, he's just a friend. When you say he's just a friend, you a lie, because we find out later. Anyway, so that's happening at the party. Mindy's just meeting Nicholas. She's like, oh my god, I haven't seen you in a long time, blah blah blah. And she's telling Benoit, like, oh, we went to boarding school together. I am out here. On that last video, I was just blowing it away. Now it's just going in my mouth. That's wild. Disrespectful. Why would you be going in my mouth? Anyways, so Benoit is not feeling Nicholas. And I understand, because, you know, he's like hitting on his girl, and Mindy's like, no, we're just friends. I'm like, Imagine that last two people I was saying are the only ones in this show that are not hoes are about to be hoes, and you will see why. So Emily is like, who are all these people? And then Alfie's like, oh, I just invited everybody on my floor. I was like, bro, you're not well. And so the party is packed. Emily saying hi to everybody. I think she was the one that introduced Nicholas and Mindy, or maybe Mindy and Emily were together and Nicholas showed up or something like that. Anyways, that's how I think Emily knows they know each other later, when they were saying blah 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 whatever. So anyways, Emily and Alfie were like, oh, let's go to the roof, right? So they're walking. Emily's in the front. She opens the door. She looks, and no freaking way. Who is that making out? None other than Sophia and Cammy. Excuse me, do you not have a boyfriend? You have a whole boyfriend. The same boyfriend you are saying, like, excuse me, why are you cheating on me? You are cheating on him with a whole Sophia, with a whole female. So Emily sees this, she's like, whoop, and she goes, you know what, it's kind of cold. I think that's what she said. But she just made some excuse, and she's like, let's just go down. And I feel like Alfie had a feeling something was wrong, but he was like, okay, whatever. So they go back downstairs, and what happens after that? They go back downstairs, and I don't know if it was then or at the apartment, but Emily told Mindy what she saw, but I think it was at their apartment. I don't think she would have told her in the middle of the party. Yeah, but anyways, she told Mindy, I think at the apartment, and then Mindy's like, don't get involved, you know, you are the reason in the first place they broke up the first time. You don't want to be the reason again. So she's telling her, Emily, stay out of it. Like, whatever happens, stay out of it, right? So she's like freaking out about that. Every time Gabrielle shows up anywhere, she's like, I know something you don't. And I want to tell you, but I cannot. So that happened. And then Mindy's, you know, performing at the club and whatever. And Mindy's nervous, okay? That's what she says. I'm nervous. And they end up, her and Benoit, before she goes on stage, and apparently that gives her confidence. So now they have to do it all the time. And I'm like, oh, Jesus. Why me? Anywho, they do the do, and that's how she performs on stage. And then one time he couldn't make it, so he sent her something that I would not say on this channel, but if you're an adult, nasty people. Anywho, he sent her flowers and something, and then they were invited to a party by Nicholas. No, that was after. No, it wasn't after, because I just remember something. Okay, they were invited to a party, like a beach party, so they're wearing bathing suits, whatever. And so it was Mindy and Emily that were invited, and then Emily always doing work. She's like, oh, like she can sing, blah blah blah, like you should put their song, I don't know what she said, like sponsor them or something. I don't know, she said something, and then Mindy's like, we don't talk about business, blah blah blah. And then Emily goes up to the DJ booth and she plays the song, and it was the song that Benoit basically wrote to Mindy, because he likes her, that's her boyfriend. And so she plays the song for Nicholas. Emily plays the song for Nicholas. He's like, oh look, everybody's jamming, everybody likes it, blah blah blah. He's like, I'll think about it. And so Mindy tells Benoit, and Benoit's like, first of all, I don't like that nigga. He didn't say that, but first of all, he doesn't like him. Second of all, he's like, I wrote that song for you. I didn't write that song to be like, used for the public and stuff like that. So he was not down with it. And then he was not happy. And then what happened after that? I don't know. Somehow they ended up breaking up, her and Benoit. And I was like shocked, because it literally came out of nowhere. But anyway, something happened, and then they broke up, right? So Nicholas was asking her to come hang out with them, I think a little bit later. But I'm like, first of all, you just broke up with your boyfriend. Obviously you don't care about him if you're out here trying to hang out with Nicholas, who likes you. Hoe behavior. Why? Mindy's whole behavior, Kami's whole behavior, and I rest my case when I said last time everybody was a hoe. And not past tense, is a hoe. Is present tense, continuing tense, is a hoe. Anywho, maybe Alfie. That's the only one I can think of. That Alfie is the only one that's not a hoe. That's sad. Anywho, so he's inviting her to a party, whatever, or what is it called, where you sit on the floor and watch a movie outside with a bunch of people? Picnic movie? I don't know, something. But they were gonna watch. He invited her to come with him and his friends, and then he said bring friends. So she was inviting Kami, who apparently wasn't able to come. Oh, this is what happened. Alfie had to go to England, and Kami went to Greece. Was it Greece? I think it was Greece. But Kami went to Greece with Sophia, and y'all already know what's happening there. But anyways, so it's just the only ones left is Gabrielle and Emily. So she brings Gabrielle, Emily, and Mindy is dressed in this. I'm missing a whole thing. It doesn't matter. But Mindy is dressed in this skimpy stuff. Anywho, so they go to the picnic thing. Nicholas is sitting next to her, Emily is sitting next to Mindy, and Gabrielle is sitting next to Emily, and then there's a lady that's sitting next to Gabrielle that's friends with Nicholas and stuff. So they're sitting there, they're watching the movie, you know, everybody around them is just like making out, and Mindy and Nicholas are just sitting awkwardly, and the girl sitting next to Gabrielle is like she's flirting with him, and he's not feeling it. And then she thought that Emily and Gabrielle are together, and he's like, nah, we're not together. He was like, don't bring that shit back. No, we're not together. And so he feels uncomfortable, so Emily and Gabrielle decide to leave, and they tell Mindy like, we're leaving. She's like, okay, I'll see you, blah blah blah. They leave. And then Mindy's sitting there like awkward, like, oh my god, why am I here? I thought he liked me. And I'm sitting there like, you had a whole boyfriend not 2 seconds ago. But anyways, I guess it's just me. It's just me, but people don't care. They just be moving from one to the other to the other. Or if you're Kami, you just move from one to the other while you're with the one you were with before. Okay, anyways, we move. So Gabrielle and Emily are taking a walk, and then I don't know what happens. They were walking home though. Oh, they were taking a walk, and then they stumbled upon this place that has like it's like foam pit, like the squishy ball thingies. I didn't need to do that motion. They have like the squishy ball things and that you can jump in, which I'm scared of falling, so I can never do that. But anyways, it's not about me. So they went into like a place like that, and the whole thing is like colorful, it's fun, it's nice. So they were jumping, taking pictures, videos, whatever. They're having fun like they're a couple. But you know, their significant others are not here, so that's why they're doing that. So they do all that, whatever, and then we go to Mindy and Nicholas, and Mindy's like, I thought you liked me, because it was his friends left. They finished the movie and his friends left, and it was just Mindy and Nicholas left. And then she's like, oh, I thought you liked me. He was like, and was thinking everything in me not to kiss you. I was like, ugh. Anyways, they did all that and I was not with it, but they ended up kissing, I think, something like that. Ugh. Anyways, that happened, and then after that, what happened after that? I'm on a roll, and then like I stop. I'm on a roll, and then I stop because I don't remember a lot. My brain is like, what are you saying? I don't know. And then after that, Mindy was about to sing. So Pere Kadu is basically telling what am I talking about? I'm missing a lot of things. So, long story short, Madeline is like, I'm gonna go back to Chicago. This is not working out. The Chicago people are saying like, we're gonna just close down Savoie. So Emily's like, I don't want to go back to Chicago. I want to stay in Paris. And so Mindy's like, you know, do what you gotta do. Do what makes you happy. But I'm leaving. So now she lost her job. She has no job. I don't know how the hell they're paying for this apartment. Anywho, so she lost her job, and she's been just going around taking pictures and just enjoying Paris, and like asking her followers like, what do you think I should do next? Where do you think I should go? Blah blah blah, right? And then she ended up working at Gabrielle's place, and yeah, she ended up working at Gabrielle's place for a little bit, but then she was getting some things wrong because she doesn't speak French. Hello, we already know this. And then I think he fired her because she's literally like, what happened was she was trying to say some other word, and then she, like, the guy is allergic to mushrooms, and she didn't know that because she doesn't speak French, and so the guy ended up having an allergic reaction. So Gabrielle is like, you're fired. I think that was still when Cammy was there, and then Cammy was telling the mom like, yeah, she works there, and then the mom is like, aren't you worried, like they're working together, blah blah blah. She's like, I don't care, because she's cheating on him. But anyways, the mom was worried. I think the parents might have came to eat there, and that's when they saw her and they were like, why is she working there? That's what happened. And so after that, there was a project that was given to Julian, and you know, like I said, Emily is known for just throwing ideas here and there, but Julian is getting annoyed because he's like, this is my thing, but she keeps doing whatever she wants. At this point, I believe they're back at the office, at their Savoie office, which is now called whatever name that Sylvie gave, because I don't remember what the name was. So they are now back at the office, and he's getting angry, and he keeps telling Sylvie like, you need to get Emily in check, because every time I have something, she always want to put her information, her ideas in there, and it's like, it's my project, let me do my project, I know how to do what I need to do. And I think it was around the, what was it? Oh, they had some client that was it perfume? I don't know what it was, but basically Emily's idea was, oh, you should probably record somebody proposing to someone. And then Gabrielle told Emily that he was going to propose to Cammy. And so Emily's like, oh, like, would you be okay with doing this with the company or with their, you know, marketing thing, because they were just looking for this. And so Luke or Julian was not happy about this because it was literally his project. And then I think she did this again, and that's why he was pissed and he had to leave. But I think I think it's the same project. She just had another idea, because Gabrielle told her he already proposed to Cammy. No, technically Cammy proposed to Gabrielle, or she said like, we should get married. And so I don't know why she just came up with that idea, but she was like, oh, we should get married. I was like, not a whole cheater saying we should get married. Cammy, I'm disappointed, very very disappointed in you. Anyways, so that's that whole thing that happened. And what happened after that? They were having, I feel like I'm skipping a whole chunk, I don't know, but they were having the engagement dinner. Yeah, no, I'm missing a whole that. Before I say that, hold up, I'm missing a whole part. So PC, okay, I don't know how to say his name. PC, okay, he is now partnered with Nicholas's company, who doesn't do outside marketing. So he's telling Sylvie, like, Sylvie, Luke, and Julian, and Emily, and like, you know, he's telling them like, they're not listening to me. They basically took my name, and like, I don't know what to do. So they had this idea. Before he knew that, actually, he got hit by a car when he was coming to meet them. And so, because they were having the meeting, and they got things confused, because Nicholas is asking them to come work for the brand, not the guy, because they're like, the guy is old, we own the name, so you're working with us for the brand, not for him. So they didn't understand that, so they had invited Homie. Homie was walking across the street, got hit by a whole car, and he was fine. He just had to go to like the rehabilitation places, whatever, not for crackheads and stuff like that, but the people that help you get back to walking. He was there. So they came, and I think later on Sylvia and Emily came to tell him this, because Nicholas and his company were about to launch with the guy that he literally does not like. They're about to launch his own brand, like his own name, his brand, everything, and they were about to replace him with the guy that he literally doesn't like it's his enemy. And so Emily and, you know, I was gonna say Save Wall Company, it's not Save Wall, it's called something else, I forgot what it was. Emily, Sylvie, Luke, and Julian have this idea of making everyone think that PC is dead. And if they think he's dead, then there's gonna be a lot of talk, blah blah blah. They can't use that name. Something like that. I need to drink. My throat is dry. Give me a moment. Seriously. Alright, let's get back. I had to drink something. My throat was tickling. Tickly. Okay, anyway, so they basically had to make it seem like PC was dead. And Mindy didn't know about this. Because hello, how are they supposed to tell you? You're not part of the company. So Mindy didn't know about this. And Nicholas is now her new boyfriend. What a time. Is her new boyfriend. So she was kind of like a bit iffy on the fact that like Emily left her out and then is making her boyfriend look like a fool. And so and I think before this, Sylvie had talked to Nicholas's father, who was the owner of the company, and so I think they worked together and he did something to her, whatever. So she was happy about doing this to his son, and making him look like a fool. And so basically what they did is get PC's thing back, whatever, and the other guy looked like a fool. Nicholas looked like a fool. So Nicholas was mad at Emily and like all of them for making him look like a fool. Anywho, after that happened is when we'll go to the engagement party. So basically they're having it at Kami's family's vineyard, and so everybody's there, and Mindy is waiting for Nicholas to come pick her up, and he's basically, you know, not prioritizing her and not putting her first. So she's like waiting. She's getting irritated. She hears a knock on the door, so she opens it, and it's Benoit. It's not even I was like, Benoit. she the minute you broke up, she was with the dude that you didn't like. So basically Benoit comes to tell her like, oh, the reason I didn't want you to sell the song to him, blah blah blah, was because I think he entered it in something. I don't even know that whole thing, but he just came to tell her that. And then the next scene I think he texts her, Nicholas texts her something to come outside. I don't know, something happened like that, right? So they're all at the dinner, they're sitting there. Emily and Alfie are sitting together. Cami and Gabrielle are sitting together at like the corner with the parents and stuff like that. And you know, like Emily's worried that Mindy's not gonna make it, and then all you hear is a whole ass helicopter. I'm like, no way this man rented, or maybe has, because he's rich, so he probably has a helicopter. I was like, oh, you guys are not well. And Mindy, I noticed, had changed her dress because she's coming, you know, in a helicopter. So I don't even know what happened. I don't think they even like went into detail about what happened with Benoit after he told her all that, or maybe I'm just like blanking, I don't know. But anyways, they end up at the wedding dinner, whatever thing, and so yeah, they bring the helicopter, everything is flying everywhere, you know, because hello, there's a whole ass helicopter landing And so they're holding everything, everybody's looking down so that, like, you know, things don't be blowing everywhere. And then Emily's like, oh wow, like this is how y'all entering and whatever. So they hug, blah blah blah. They're having the dinner, they do toasts, and then they're having a little party, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they're having a little party. Also at this time, Luke was telling them, was it, oh, before, okay, so we're going everywhere. Let's go all the way back. So there was this place that they wanted to eat at, right? I think it was, when was this? Oh, it was like when they had this company that was announcing this luxurious car. I forgot the name of the car. Everything is blanking. I'm blanking. I'm just kidding. So there was a car that was being introduced. It was like limited edition. And so they were having like a get together at Anthony's vineyard, ranch, place, something. They were having that party at Anthony's place. And so the car, I believe, is purple, if I'm not going crazy. Yeah, I think the car is purple. And then Anthony was about to come out with a perfume, and there was like a mess happening, blah blah blah. And so Emily had this idea, like, cause he was going in on Alfie for no reason, like, I don't know, he was saying some stupid stuff and Alfie was getting annoyed. So I think that's when, was it then? When the hell did they go eat? I'm so confused. I'm trying to understand when that was. Yeah, it was then. And then like Alfie had to be taken by Anthony because he needed him for something. And then why the hell wasn't Cammy there? I don't know. Cammy said something and then she couldn't be there. So Emily and I think this was still at the time when Cammy was in Greece. Yeah, I think that's what it was. So anyways, Emily and Gabriel are basically eating at this like super fancy restaurant. He has a Michelin star, and that's basically what Gabriel wants. They're eating, and everybody thinks like they're a couple, and even on the check he writes, the restaurant owner writes like, oh, you guys are a really cute couple or something like that, right? And they never like told anybody, oh, we're not a couple. I was like, why the hell aren't you telling anybody? You can definitely say, hey yo, like, we're not a couple, we're not together. But they never said that. It's giving you want to be together. It's giving you want to be together. If you want to be together, say that. Say that. But anyways, they didn't say nothing to nobody. And then I feel like, he kept seeing the owner's kids, and he was like, yeah, I want to have one day I want to have kids of my own. And the owner was like, oh yeah, you guys would have like a cute kid or whatever. He said something like that, and I'm sitting there like, tell him you guys are not together, you both have a significant other, and you're just out here like, yeah, we're definitely together. Like, they never once said to anybody that they're not together. What a time. Anywho, It was like 5-course meal something. And then she ended up keeping the check because it says, you know, the couple thing. And I'm like, oh, you're so annoying. And then what happened? What has happened after that? After that, I believe, I feel like this is longer than the first and second season. Jesus. After that, during that party, with the car, Sylvie and the photographer kid that she was dating, he was getting annoyed because her ex-husband, who is still married to her technically, he keeps showing up everywhere, and he's like getting annoyed. He's literally showing up everywhere. Like, I'm so sick of it. I'm done. And so he leaves her, and he gives her the camera. He said, "Don't you used to be a photographer?" I was like, damn, you left her and the job that you were supposed to do? That's crazy. So he left, and so now Sylvie is doing the checking everybody or whatever, and then Emily goes to help Alfie. And honestly, I don't remember when the dinner was. I think the dinner was, I don't even know. Anyways, I know the dinner happened. I just don't know when it happened. And so, you know, and then that's when Emily gives Alfie this idea of like, oh, because Alfie had to be called because the perfumes didn't smell right for Anthony, and he's saying like, we have a lot of the bad batch, but we don't have we didn't make enough of the good batch, blah blah blah. So he was getting angry, and so he's like, we're gonna lose all this money. And so Emily had this idea, and she was like, why don't you just release the bad batch and say or they said they have a little bit of the good batch, and she said, why don't you just release the good batch and say that it's a limited edition, just like the car. And so he was like, don't be telling me how to run my business, basically. I was like, damn, Anthony, she's trying to give you an idea. Like, sometimes I be with Emily and I'm like, she's literally trying to give you a good idea. And then sometimes I understand why Julian was getting mad, because she literally always has an idea. Man, pipe down. This is my project. Sit down. Sit down. Relax. Be quiet. Let me do my thing. You know, you can't just run a company just by your ideas. Jesus. But yeah, that was all happening. And then during the dinner, not that wedding dinner, the other dinner. I know I've been talking about everything here and there. During the dinner for the car release or whatever, that's when Anthony announced that he would have a limited edition perfume. And I was like, how you gonna talk shit to Emily and then take her idea? And then he was like, cheers. I was like, I was sitting here like, kiss my ass. You lie. As if you just came up with that idea on your own. Lying liar. And then I think everything was resolved, and Sylvie and her ex-husband decided to take a walk, and they were being stung by bees. They were bum-ass naked, like they were taking off their entire clothes, bum-ass naked, ran into the pool, and then they like rekindled their love. I don't know, man. And Anthony's wife was so happy when she saw them together, because she was like, as long as it's not my husband you're sleeping with and you have your own husband, because back in the days she was sleeping with her husband and she knew about it. I swear Paris people is wildly crazy. And so anywho, that happened, and then we moved back to the wedding time. So like I said, Gabriel was saying he wanted a Michelin star during the dinner, and then Luke had told Emily that he actually dated a lady who does that, like who's a food critic, and she can get a Michelin star for like restaurant owners and stuff. So he basically took her to Gabriel's restaurant and was basically like oh, this is just, we're just going out to eat dinner, blah 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 type of stuff, right? And then Emily told him to like make that food extra good. And he didn't understand. And then his mother, I think it was his grandmother, who does not like Cammy, by the way, which is funny because she doesn't know she's cheating on him. Is it in her feel? She feels it in her heart, but she likes Emily, which is so funny. But anyway, she was telling Emily like, you can't be in the kitchen, like it's hot, blah blah blah. So she sent her out, and the lady likes the food so much that she wanted to come back. But at this time, they're having the engagement party, if I'm not mistaken, and the mom still wanted, or the grandmother still wanted to have the restaurant open, so she was cooking the food. And then she was saying, oh, the food is better this time, I want to meet the chef. And the grandmother comes and she's like, oh, like it's my grandson, blah 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 blah. But in my head I'm thinking, she said this food is better than the one she ate last time. She's probably going to give this Michelin star to his grandmother. Nobody's even putting two and two together, and I'm sitting here like, y'all are dumb, y'all are stupid. But anyways, Luke goes to the corner and calls Emily, and he's like, Emily, you wouldn't believe this, that's not his accent, but I'm just saying it like that. He's like, Emily, you wouldn't believe this, he's gonna get like he said, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm like very certain he's gonna get to the Michelin star. And so she's excited, she's happy, she goes to tell Gabrielle's happy, they hug. And then Kami comes out of nowhere, she sees them hugging, and she's like, wow. I said, wow, ma'am, you are sleeping with a whole female, making out with her on Alfie's, well, it's not Alfie's roof, Alfie's building roof. You are making out the whole ass lady. You are sleeping with her. You went to Greece with her, and now you wanna be out here over exaggerating a hug. I cannot. But anyway, she sees them hugging, she gets annoyed. And then after because Emily's telling him he might get a Michelin star, blah blah blah. And then she goes to where her family is. And so Gabrielle, after Emily and him hug, oh wow, it's been an hour and something, I'm so tired. After they hug, he leaves to go talk to his fiance, his very paranoid fiance. And oh, I missed the whole part, I just remember. Anyways, he goes to tell them like, oh my gosh, I might get a Michelin star. They're all happy for him, they're hugging him, blah blah blah. I think was his parents there? I don't think so. I think it was her parents and Cammy, and then they were just like celebrating and hugging. I don't think his parents were there. Anyways, all that was happening. But before all that happened, let's skip way to the beginning. So when she was gone to Greece with the lady, Gabrielle had gotten like super drunk, and he called Emily, and like they were sitting at like this weird place, and he was just literally telling her everything, like, oh my gosh, I don't think things are going well, blah blah blah. Cammy said she needs to talk to me when she comes, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, she's gonna break up with him and she's gonna be like, I'm leaving you for a woman named Sophia. I like her, I don't like you. I think she was gonna say something like that. So I'm like, oh my gosh, this is giving friend vibes, and you'll understand why I say that later on. And so I'm like, that's crazy. But that happened. I completely forgot to tell you that. Let's move on. We're gonna go to that night. Cammy's like, oh, I'm so happy, I'm so happy. Why don't we just get married now? Because the priest is here. There's a church over there. Like, they have a church near where like a lot of the family got married. So she's like, the church is here, the priest is here, we're here, the people is here. Why don't we just get married? So they decide to get married. They're all sitting. She comes in with her dress, blah blah blah. Would you take so and so? Would you take Gabrielle for blah blah blah? You know, the whole shebang. They say that to Gabrielle. He says yes. They say that to her, and she says, and then she says this whole. I don't even know if she said no before. I don't remember, but Cammy really goes, oh, I don't think I can marry you because you and Emily have been in love since the first day. I seen it with my own eyes. That's why we made this deal of like both of us not being with you, but I broke the deal and blah blah. Like, she's like spilling the tea. She is spilling the tea. She's just spilling tea. She's spilling tea for no reason. Ma'am, you cheated. Why are we even doing this? Like, none of that made sense to me. I was like, you could have just said, you're the one that came up with the idea that we should get married. Now you're out here standing in front of everybody just spilling tea for no reason. So she's like, oh, I know you're in love with Emily. Y'all been in love since the first time y'all met. That's why I did this and this and this. I'm like, what the freak? Are you well? The mom is like, shh. Because the mom always wanted them to be together. So she's like, shh. But mom, ain't nobody listening to you. Mom, ain't nobody listening to you. Cammy is out here ruining everybody's relationship. And she's like, they've been in love with each other. I see the way you look at each other, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, all this because they hugged? You were literally making up with a whole female. You are making out with her on a roof, and then y'all slept together. I don't even know how many times at Greece. What is it? Cammy, hello, Cammy, are you good? And so that all happens, and then she leaves. She says all that, spills the whole tea, and she leaves. Alfie gets up. She's like, Alfie. Emily's like, Alfie. He goes, I'm nobody's second choice, and he leaves. And I'm like, first of all, when is this happening? When did you hear this? So you're just wholeheartedly gonna believe a cheater that's trying to get out of this by saying, oh, they've been in love. Like, I know Emily and Gabrielle did what they did, but your ass cheated too. Let's not act like you didn't. But anyways, so you know, like I said, when he was drunk and he was telling Emily all that, he did tell her he loves her, which, yeah, it's like we know that, but you didn't have to do that in front of everybody. That's crazy, Cammy. Cammy, you wild. Anyways, so during that time, you know, Emily's like, oh my gosh, they're about to break up. This is so bad. But she never once said, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be with him. But anyways, that happened. And I think after Cammy came back, she ran into Gabrielle, and he was like, oh, I'm sorry that I was, you know, drunk, and like, I don't even remember what I said. You told her you loved her. But anyways, he was like, I don't remember what I said, but me and Cammy are good, blah blah blah. So we skip over to all that stuff that happened. Everybody leaves the church, whatever, and then we just see Emily and Gabrielle sitting near each other on a railing or whatever, somewhere like that. I don't know if it was outside the church or outside the house, but they're sitting somewhere on a railing near each other. And then he's telling her like, oh, what happened when she came back from Greece, she had told me blah blah blah. So Emily's thinking, oh my god, she finally told him that she was cheating on him. No, you know what she told him? Do you know what she told him? For them to be like reconcile or whatever. You know how he said he been wanting children? He was telling like the guy at the restaurant owner that has a Michelin star. She told him she's preggers. She told him she's pregnant. And I was like, pregnante? You're pregnant? So that's why you guys wanted to get married? It's not because you guys like love each other? That's crazy. That's wild. So I think that's why they were gonna get married. But it's like, if you didn't want to get married, why did you say let's get married? Were you feeling bad that you were literally cheating on him with a whole female, with a whole woman? With a woman, Sophia. No, immediately no. But I think that's where it ended. So I was like shook. I was like, wow, wow, this is crazy. This is too much. This is too much. Everybody's a hoe. And then I don't know if you remember, I said it's giving Friends. You know why it was giving Friends? Because in Friends, Ross's ex-wife cheated on him. She has a kid with him. Cheated on him with a woman, married a woman. Cami cheated on Gabrielle with a woman. She's pregnant. Maybe in the next season she might be married with a woman. I don't know. But I was like, y'all really took a whole thing from Friends and just inserted into your show. That's crazy. That's crazy. But that's what it was reminding me. So I was like, that's very, very similar. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But I was like, this is wild. This is crazy. Everybody's a hoe. I feel sorry for Alfie, but Alfie is wildin'. He really said, I'm nobody's second choice. When did she choose you second? Because when she was with Gabrielle, when she was sleeping around, whatever, she wasn't dating nobody. She wasn't dating nobody. So I don't know why you're out here sitting here talking about I'm nobody's second choice. Like she literally chose Gabrielle and then he didn't want her, so she chose you. That's not what happened. Well, now that I remember, when Cami was moving in, she was coming to confess her love to him. You know what, Alfie? Do what you need to do. Everybody is a hoe. I support you, Alfie. I support you 100%. There is hoes. You is nobody's second choice. Continue on with your life. But this is wild. I don't even know what they're gonna do in season 4. I hope there's no season 4. Just kidding. Not really. Anyways, it's gonna be weird. It's just getting out of hand. It's getting way too out of hand. I'm happy for Sylvie and her husband getting back together. That's literally the only thing that happened that I was happy for. Yeah, that's about it. That's crazy. Anyways, thanks for watching. It's been an hour, almost hour and a half. I'm tired. A lot of editing. I had to, do the little hoodie thing because it's hot. So I need to take this hoodie off. But, I had to do this because it's literally the same outfit as the other review. Anyways, thanks for watching the Bummy Podcast. Hope you have a wonderful bummy day. Don't be a hoe like 99% of the people on this show. Be like Alfie. You ain't nobody's second choice. Move. I need help. Goodbye.